Now his centre-back partnership, Luke Jones, would have got the headlines on Sunday morning, but nice to see Rob Duffy back in the score sheet.
I think it was great to see Duffers execute the ball well. It was obviously, you know, when you're putting the ball in, it doesn't have to be a pass, does it? It can actually be a delivery, and we got this first phase, we won the second phase, and I think Rob, by his own admission, you know, he's increased his workload on the training ground. He's been very focused, Robert, and I'm very pleased with him. And for him to get that goal, it takes him. He said to me, you know, last week, you just need that little bit of a lift, and as we all know, strikers go by confidence, and that'll give Rob the confidence to keep adding to that tally, and he's doing well for us.
You have to manage each of your strikers in a different way. You just mentioned that Rob Duffy's obviously a confident player. That goal's helped him a lot, but compared to someone like Jake Spate, is there a difference between managing two players off the field?
Oh, immensely. They're two different types of characters altogether. But what I will say is that all strikers, as in all players and all people, have a bag of confidence, and you have to give them that confidence. I said to Jake, I felt he would certainly score before the game, and that's why he turned and pointed the finger in our direction. We gave him that confidence, and we're fully behind the little fella. He's doing very well, and him and Robert played on Saturday, as we did Willow. But likewise, we've got Carl Perry, John Shaw, Blesto to come in if they have a dip in form, but if they keep working as hard as they are, they're making it increasingly hard for other people to take the helm.
How important is it, with looking ahead at these fixtures? Wrexham away this weekend, Gateshead at home on Saturday. We've got Stevenage on the horizon as well. Important to build momentum and get a run going, as you did earlier in the season.
And Tamworth often. So, you know, they're away from home. They're all important games as far as I'm concerned. I think when you get injuries and you get suspensions and illnesses and extra things like that in the camp, you have to change your side. I changed my side on Saturday just with one thing in mind, is being very difficult to beat, but also being tighter in midfield, where I felt against Wimbledon we wasn't as tight as I needed us to be, and I think that reflected by the opposition being able to put balls into our box. Albeit you know, the result wasn't what I wanted, I still think that the makeup of a team when you go away from home, and if you look over the stats over the last 5 seasons in this division, is that the teams at the top have been hard to beat away. I feel that we've been very successful away from home, but like I said, sometimes we've been a little bit too anemic, and I want our players to have, you know, be full fat and strong and really commanding.
The first day in February, it means that there's only hours to go in the transfer market. Are you going to be on your phone at all today, or is that it in terms of Mansfield Town this year?
We'll see. We'll see. I can't say too much about it. There is something maybe going to go on. It might happen. Maybe another striker. Maybe not. Maybe a defender.
Players going out?
There will be a little bit of action probably. I've had a couple of managers on the phone today, so until that's concluded, it's wrong to suggest otherwise.
What are your thoughts on the January transfer window? Listening to people from other clubs in the press, some managers, some chairmen hate the January transfer window and think it's an absolute bind and an absolute nightmare. I heard one chairman call it this morning. What's your thoughts on it?
I think it can be if you're doing well, and obviously when you've got players that you value and you players under contract, obviously, you know, it can be an opportunity for the big clubs, the bigger clubs, to get players in that they see as maybe that difference for the push for promotion or a playoff place. I think at the higher end of the football pyramids is that, you know, there is a little bit to play with. We've always worked on having a structure here which won't be dismantled unless the chairman says so. If the chairman and the board feel that would be beneficial to the club, then I'll be right behind them, because I've always stuck behind the chairman on terms of where we are in the bracket of financial packages, and that won't change. I don't want that, because the most important thing is this football club's stable. But I understand that the window opens for a reason. It does give players opportunities to move as well. So you can't have it always, but it does benefit the bigger clubs, certainly.
Changes tomorrow night again, or do you think you'll go with what you... Yeah.
Same team. Same team, same squad.
Nixon and Shaw, are they with you?
Nixie, a little bit of a niggle after the game behind closed doors the other day, which was to be expected, but nothing too bad. He'll train again today. We've got a behind closed doors game against Nottingham Forest on Wednesday for the players that don't get utilised on Tuesday night.
Where's that?
At the Boots training ground at 12 o'clock kickoff. So that'll be the players that don't play 90 minutes to keep their levels up. Shorey's stepping up his training this week, so it'd be nice to see what type of player he really is. I've been pleased with John. He's fitted in very well here. He's a good personality. So yeah, we're looking forward to him coming through that. And Andy Burgess is recovering nicely from his calf injury. So other than Sturrock with his neck, he's training today. He's seeing the chiropractor again. So we're hopeful that 10 days time we could have everybody chomping at the bit with Villa.
So Nixon Shield won't travel tomorrow, isn't it?
We're going to players at the moment are having to make sure if they're going to break into the squad, they're going to have to really earn it. And the squad picks itself. It did on Saturday, and I felt that after Saturdays there's no need to change. Listen, I think it's an amazing gesture on behalf of the football club, the chairman, and the board are very forward thinking, and I know that the recent inclusion of Steve Hymas gives us another voice in there, but Mr Perry, Saunders, Middleton already were forward thinking, and Mr Hymas's inclusion is another aspect of that. So these are the people here have seen over the years that the club have not done enough for the community. I don't know what else we can do. We've been in the playoff place for 99.9% of the season. Everything's positive, and you'd like the fans to feel that the club are doing whatever they can to encourage them to come here and give the players their full support, win, lose or draw. I think that's the most important thing, is that you sustain your support, not just come here in fractions and only support the team when they're winning. Our fans have had tough times, but certainly believe in them, and the 153 people that went down to Forest Green hopefully went home feeling good about their football club. We've lost once at home in a year plus 11, 12, 13 months, isn't it now? So it can't be bad going when you look at some of the other clubs. And so there's no need to be down. Let's hope that the town do come out, support the boys, and really give them some vocal support. It'll be greatly appreciated. We're doing all we can.
It'd be great to play in front of a really big crowd, wouldn't it, for the lads, I guess,
For the players, it'd be wonderful. And say, Gateshead, I spoke to Gateshead over the weekend, and they were encouraged. I think that the Gateshead fans have bought into it as well, it seems to be. So rather than one man and a dog, it'll be hopefully a taxi full.
I'm just going to ask you about Wrexham a bit. I mean, they just seem to be picking up a little bit, don't they?
Well, a lot's been made of Dean Saunders, and certainly the way they started the campaign. I think everybody put them down as certainly a playoff favourite at least, if not a guaranteed promotion. But this isn't an easy league, is it? You've got the likes of Chrissy Wilder's doing a fantastic job at Oxford. Stevenage are what they are, and obviously your Lutons, everybody expected to go straight back up with the finance behind them, but it's not as easy as that. And I think Dean, I speak to Dean about things, and he's putting aside to give it. It takes time, and managers, there were people calling for Dean's head early on in the season, which is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. He's a tremendous character. He's a good manager, and he's got a wealth of knowledge as a footballer. So he's doing a great job, and they're picking up, and people are noticing that now because it's the business end of the season, and he'll be wanting to climb the table as quickly as possible. He's got to do it. He's got to do it the harder way, because it did take time for him to bring the type of players he wants in. But he's a good man, and the acquisition of Mangan is a tremendous signing. And with Gareth Taylor up top, they've really got a good combination there that can be a strong force against anybody.